I do, Buckaroo. So I've got one I've never had before. Rogue Dead Guy Whiskey. Merry Christmas. I should start with how do you do, Buckaroos? I am Beer Whisperer. Merry Christmas. How about that? Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. Hey, I always get whiskey for Christmas. Santa is good to me. Santa brought me some Dead Guy whiskey, man. 'Cause Santa loved me. Santa loved me a long time. Anyways, don't take offense. I'm just being funny, guys. Relax. So, Rogue Dead Guy Whiskey. Rogue's Dead Guy family has a whole new spirit. Dead Guy whiskey is distilled from the same three malts as Rogue's Platinum Medal winning Dead Guy Ale. Dead Guy whiskey, ocean aged by both Pacific Ocean and nearby, I don't know how to pronounce that, Yakina or Yakina Bay. I'm not sure the right pronunciation. Anyways, tasting notes they give you. Dead Guy whiskey has a fresh orange citrus aroma with delicate, sweet, rich malt complex. Delicate, sweet, rich malt, orange aroma, medium-bodied flavors of oak and honey give way to a clean vanilla finish. The ingredients are two-row Meyer Munich, C15, and Rogue Farms Dare and Rusk malts, Rogue's proprietary Pac-Man yeast, and free-range coastal waters. So there you go. So I'm actually going to do this video with this product three ways. Starting with it straight up, which means chilled, but not on the rocks. So I've chilled this. That's why I'm doing it first before it warms up. But I've talked for a while, so it's probably warm. I'm also going to do some neat and on the rocks. So there you go. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, what they say, orange aroma? Yeah, why not? You get some orange. You also feel some of the oak and vanilla on the nose as well, even though they tell you to look for orange. Fresh orange, citrus aroma, delicately sweet, rich malt complex. Yeah, I mean, you certainly get all that on the nose as well. Little vanilla. It's funny. A lot of times a whiskey like this, I'll get those residual sugars at the end. In this case, I really got it right up front, at the beginning and the middle, and then it kind of dries up and cleans up at the end. Very interesting. I've got my Christmas backdrop here. Merry Christmas, little snowman there. I guess the snowman is covered by my beer, so you can't see the snowman. But Merry Christmas, man. I do celebrate Christmas, but I don't care if you tell me Happy Holidays. I'm not one of those kind of Christians that want to get their knickers in a knot over something as silly as a greeting. Somebody that tells you Happy Holidays, my friends, isn't being disrespectful. They are being friendly. Now, if you choose to take it somewhere else, that's on you and not the person that told you Happy Holidays. That means you may be a little too rigid in your single-minded beliefs. But there you go. Hey, I always want to try something different, and I hadn't had this before. I've been kind of putting it off. Part of it's the price. It's not crazy expensive, I guess, for a specialty whiskey like it is. Runs about 40, but I happen to know the owner of a liquor store who gave me a 15% discount. So, not going to say where because I don't want to get the guy in trouble, but I want to let you know that I did get a little break on the price. It's incredibly smooth. Yeah, you get some citrus notes in there, for sure. There is certainly a clean vanilla finish. Why not? I get the oak and the vanilla right at the end, just as they suggest. I also feel like I'm getting some apple notes in there. It's interesting. I like when these distilleries or when these breweries start distilling because I think the spirits, kind of reflect their beer line. I've had a few products from New Holland. I've had their beer barrel bourbon. I've had their what do they call it, Zeppelin Band. That whiskey is incredible. I just think it's interesting. I think you start from a different place, when you do that. So I just like the concept of it. So there you go. Cut and action. So there you go. So I'm going to stop this for a second, and I'll come back with some on the rocks. I am John a Beer Whisperer. Today I'm the Whiskey Whisperer. I love. I said I was going to go, but I'm going to say something else before I go. I love the holidays. It was my son Seamus loved the holidays. He loved Thanksgiving. He loved Christmas. It was his favorite time of the year, and it wasn't about the presents for Sham. Shamu, Seamus. I had a lot of nicknames for him. Called him Shamu. It wasn't a reference to his size. It was just a play on the name Seamus. Seamus loved Christmas. He loved picking out gifts for people. What it was, he would put a lot of thought into it all year round, and he just had this knack for finding the one thing. It didn't necessarily have to be an expensive thing, but he just had an idea for what people liked. So it's tough for my wife and I. It's really been right after we lost our son Seamus. I was able to grieve right away, but I had my own business at the time. I just suspended it. But my wife had to return to work almost immediately. So she was never able to grieve properly. And now there's some other things have happened since then, and now she's really struggling because now it just everything kind of hit her at once. The loss of our son, and then everything else she's had to endure. It's really been hard on her. So now it's time for me to kind of step up. Now I've taken another job and trying to do as much as I can to help. But I think I don't, I'm not a psychologist, but I really think that's the biggest part of the problem is she was never allowed to grieve right away. I mean, some people will tell you, well, you should be over it right now. Really? Have you lost a child? If not, shut the hell up because you don't get over it in a year, 3 years, 10 years. I don't think you ever get over it. You never get over something like that. It's something that you try to learn to live with, or you don't. And that's the biggest fear, people that ultimately just can't deal with the loss. It is difficult. So anyways, but I this year I'm really trying to embrace the holiday spirit. Last Christmas and New Year's was really rough on us due to some other personal things that went down, but this year we're really trying to uh to enjoy it one way or the other. Christmas Day is just going to be the wife and I, so that'll be nice. I hope to be able to go buy a movie and just relax. So, anyways, I rambled on longer than I intended, but I'm going to come back with some Dead Guy on the Rocks. Well, how do you do, Buckaroos? And I am back. Yeah, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this three ways: neat, rocks, and straight up. Well, I did straight up first. Now I'm going to do the rocks. I'm going to do neat last. I love this glass. My wife found this set a few months back in the summertime at a thrift shop. I think it was a DAV. I just don't remember quite at the moment. Um, Came with a nice picture and four of these glasses. I believe it cost her $3. So awesome. Pheasants are one of those things. I mean, I grew up in Southern California, which isn't known for pheasants, but my dad grew up in South Dakota, so my dad and my mom always collected pheasant stuff, and then my mom, for a period of time, was making pheasant. She'd do some pheasant needle points, made some pillows, some various things. So now it's just kind of about nostalgia. When I see something pheasant-like, whatever the word would be, man, my wife will always pick it up for me because it does remind me of my mom and dad. So there you go, little nostalgia. Yeah, I noticed that they tell you a citrus aroma. They tell you to look for sweet malt, um, vanilla in the finish, some oak in there. I'm noticing right away on the nose. I had the first one straight up, so I knew it was sitting on ice a little longer. I certainly am still getting that citrus. I may be feeling a little more sweetness on the nose than I did just straight up. Although, I mentioned when I had the straight up version, a lot of whiskeys you'll get the sweetness right at the end. You'll get those residual sugars right at the end. In this particular whiskey, both straight up and on the rocks here, I'm getting it more in the middle, and then it kind of dries up with the oak and vanilla at the end. It's very interesting. It's very enjoyable, actually. It's about $40. Like I said, I did get a little discount on it. I don't think I mentioned, but if you can read the bottle, it tells you that it's ocean aged for at least 1 year. And it is an 80 proof spirit. So, for a specialty whiskey, I am going to say for a small distillery, I'm going to say that that's not overpriced, you know. That's what I'm gonna say. I will tell you that it's very smooth. It's very enjoyable. The longer I let this sit on ice, though, I got to tell you, the more sweetness that I'm getting, the more sugars that are coming out. So that's not necessarily unusual. I just wanted to make that observation to y'all. I am feeling a lot of that orange as well and other citrus. I'm almost getting some lemon zest like notes to go with it. I mentioned on the straight up version, I thought I was tasting some apple. I'm going to still say that as well. And you might get some other things. You might get not get anything that I'm telling you. You might get something completely different. And guess what? You wouldn't be wrong. You know, we all taste what we taste. I get frustrated when folks say, "Well, you're wrong if you do." You know, you can only draw from the experiences that you have. If you're not familiar with a flavor, you're not going to taste it, man. It's just not going to happen. What you taste is what you taste, and don't let anybody tell you you're wrong, no matter how pretentious they act or how much knowledge they want to tell you they have on the subject. What you taste is what you taste. You're not wrong. Mm. You know, I'm kind of upset with myself at this moment for not purchasing this sooner, as tasty as it is. On the other hand, I'm glad I got it right at Christmas time because Santa has always brought me a good bottle. Oh, see, I blew that in. I meant to say Santa brought me the whiskey. I told you I got a discount. Anyway, Santa likes to hit me up, man. Oh goodness. As I was saying earlier, I mean Christmas is rough for my wife and I, but we have two grandkids. We have a daughter. I don't want to leave her out because she's wonderful, and we have two grandkids. Ben just turned 4, man, and Allison is about 2.5. And they're both just amazing. They're very precocious, both of them. And I like hanging out with Gramps and Gramps. They think Gramps is hilarious, which is awesome for me because I think I'm hilarious. But you know, they're 4 and 2. That's kind of where my audience is. I do these elephant noises, and Al just cracks up every time that she tries to copy me. So, yeah, I'm a goof, and I don't make any bones about that. I've had folks make fun of me in some of these videos I do. Well, you're goofy. You don't take it serious enough. No, I don't take it serious at all. I'm having fun here, folks. If you don't want to watch somebody having a drink or having a beer and having fun, don't watch me at all, man. You're not going to dig me a little bit. You want to watch some pretentious somebody do a very dry, monotone, straight review and not crack a smile. I am not your guy, but there's hundreds of folks out there for you to watch. That's not me. So you don't need to be a dick. You don't need to give me a thumbs down because you don't like what I say or that I'm having a good time. Just don't watch me. Don't be a hater, man. Have a good time. Relax. You know, some people use tragedies as an excuse to be bitter. You know, there's you always know that guy, that person, uh, you know, that something happened to you. Oh, they used to be a nice guy, but this happened to them, and now they're just not. I didn't want to be that guy. I found myself after we first lost Seamus. I saw myself sort of becoming that guy. I was starting to feel that I was getting bitter, and then I would hear Seamus in my ear telling me, "Knock it off, Pop." Seamus was just one of those great individuals, man. He just had a special way about him. He touched a lot of folks in different ways. He was, oh, he just transcended everything, man. I mean, he was in middle school and he didn't belong to any one clique, but he fit with everybody, no matter what clique they might have been in, you know. And that was the one odd thing about Seamus, and everybody would admit that they just didn't understand how he was able to just get along with everybody. So I will never live up to Seamus. That ship has sailed for an old fart like me, but I really try to. You know what I mean? I try to get along with everybody. I just, you know, I get frustrated with folks that want to judge folks. I get frustrated with folks that want to hate for no reason. Just because somebody practices a different religion with you doesn't mean they're wrong, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, and doesn't mean you need to convert them. Just be nice to everybody, and that's what Seamus did, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So there you go, rocks down, baby, rocks down, rocks down, rocks down. So I will be back, man, with neat. So I want to try some neat. So, hey, folks, hang with me, will you? And I'm back with the neat version. You may notice it's the same glass I used for straight up. I had straight up. I went to rocks and it was empty. So now I'm having. I just want to use this glass. This glass is perfect. So Jack Daniel's a single barrel glass, but it works perfect. It's a perfect glass for neat drinking. Oh wow. So I've I've had it straight up and on the rocks. Both are with it chilled. Aromas are a little different and neat, as you might expect. The malt notes come more to the front. I do feel that citrus that they talk about, the orange specifically, but I'm getting a lot of those big, deep, rich malt notes right away. I'm certainly feeling some vanilla and some oak, but I was just noticing those rich, deep malt notes. Mm. These are the ingredients that they use to make their dead guy ale, and I gotta tell you, in all honesty, this is a incredible whiskey. I mean, it really is. It's just phenomenal. It's incredibly smooth. I kind of balked about the price because I'm cheap and poor. I'm barely hanging on, man. But sometimes you got to splurge. But it's good. I mean, no, it's not good. It's beyond good. It is just something else. It's just different. It's enjoyable. If you're a whiskey lover, I think you got to try it. Doesn't feel like bourbon. Doesn't feel like other so-called American whiskeys. Doesn't feel like a single malt whiskey, but it sort of has in that category all by itself. It sort of has elements of all of those things. To me, it almost feels sort of somewhere between a. Gosh, I don't even know if that's right. It has similar. It has similar. Gosh, you might be getting buzzed now. It's just my third shot of this stuff, man. It is smooth and sweet like an Irish. Gosh, I mean, it's almost like a an American version of an Irish whiskey, I suppose. But whatever you want to call it, wherever you want to categorize it, gosh, it's amazing. So if you're a whiskey lover and you've been kind of on the fence whether to try it or not, go ahead and try it. It is worth every penny. I would pay full price for it. Let me say that. I would, whether it's beer, whether it's whiskey, I'm more about quality than quantity. I don't need to drink, 10 drinks a night. So I'm not buying cheap whiskey. I'm going to have, well, I had 3 shots. I don't typically do that, but I wanted to really taste it. Now it's going to get put away for a while. It's kind of how I do things. Beer is the same way. I mean, I don't necessarily want to pay 15 a six pack, but I'd rather pay 10 a six pack than pay $15 for 30 really bad beers. I'd rather just enjoy 6 good ones, enjoy the flavor, than have 30 bad ones just so I can say I got drunk. I think there's, I don't know, it's not a foregone conclusion, I suppose, but I'm 51 years old, and at my age, it's not that I don't get drunk still. It's that's never my goal. When you're young, oh, let's get drunk tonight. When you get to my age, if your sole goal is to just get drunk, maybe you need to reevaluate some things. Your goal should be to enjoy whatever the moment is. Enjoy the whiskey, enjoy the beer, enjoy the company. If you get drunk, you get drunk, but that should never be your goal, in my opinion. And by golly, I have lots of opinions, and I'm not afraid to share it, man. If you ever watched my videos, you know that. I don't pander to anybody, man. I don't care. I ain't pandering. They're, you got to go along, you get along to go along, I guess, whatever that phrase is. I've never been that guy. Even if I wanted to, I just couldn't. I can't stop talking, man. If I have something on my mind, it ends up coming out. So anyways, bottom line, this is a fine whiskey. Buy it. I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas, man. And I hope nobody gets offended that I said Merry Christmas. On the other, it's funny, you see people post all the time, don't get offended because I say Merry Christmas. But then if you say Happy Holidays to them, they get their panties in a bunch. Relax. No matter what greeting anybody says to you, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Merry Festivus, Happy Hanukkah, whatever they say to you. Don't get your knickers in a knot about it. Just be glad or be happy that they acknowledged you and they extended a friendly greeting to you. It doesn't matter what that greeting is. Don't be a jackass. If you understand what Christmas is about, you should be happy no matter what. Let's just enjoy the season, man. Enjoy each other, enjoy your families. There's nothing I wouldn't give to have my son back with me now. So if you want to share your petty little problems with me, I I just don't give a rat's ass. Somebody said happy holidays to me, Tom. I don't care. You're being a dick. Enjoy your family. That's what it's about. That's what Christmas is about. It's not what somebody happens to say to you. There you go. Hey, did you get that out of your system, Tom? I think so, man. I like to say that the whiskey makes me talk to myself, but anybody that knows me knows I do this all the time, stone cold sober. Anyway, so there you go. Hey, want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all my family and friends out there, even the folks I just know on social media. Man, Merry Christmas to y'all, and to all a good night. See what you did there? Yeah. Merry Christmas, y'all.